Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about an application that may be available to you on the Mitel 5000 series platform. If you are unsure of the software version that your company is using, please see your system administrator, as the Mitel also has a second platform called the Communications Director or the 3300 system platform. The web portal we will be discussing today is currently only available on the Mitel 5000. So let's get started. What you'll do is you'll open a session of your Internet Explorer and you'll input the IP address given to you by your Transwest technician to browse to your web portal. Where you'll be taken to your login page, you'll enter your username, which is usually your first initial, last name, and you'll input the default password given to you by your Transwest technician, and you'll select Login. Now, we'll get logged in just a moment here, and we're going to be going through some of the applications. We're going to demo some of these applications. So, as you can see, that we are currently logged in, and we're going to start off on the left-hand side here. We have a Do Not Disturb prompt. We'll come on into there, and we have some Do Not Disturb messages with a drop-down. Now, these are only visual prompts. These prompts do not affect what your callers hear when they dial your extension. It does not change your greeting. If we are out of town until, say, November 12th, maybe, all this does is it puts my phone in Do Not Disturb. Callers still hear the same message that they always hear when they dial my extension, but it gives my internal users, my coworkers, a visual prompt when they intercom me. So maybe my coworker picks up the phone to intercom me, and they look down in their screen as they're dialing my extension, and my extension is hitting their call is hitting my voicemail box. They'll look down, they'll see that I'm out of town until November 12th. So all that is just a visual prompt right there. Now, we do have a call forwarding option available to us right here. We're going to go ahead and come into that area. Forward calls when, and my prompts are busy, no answer, or a busy. The most common prompt is always. Now we have to choose the destination, whether that be an internal extension number or an outside telephone number. And if I do choose to route to an outside phone number, I must input the digit 8 or any other digit that your company uses to access external dial tone, followed by the phone number. So I'm going to hit 8 followed by an area code. So we've got the first digit to access external dial tone, followed by an area code and a phone number. We're going to go ahead and save those forward settings. And as you can see, that my phone is currently forwarded offsite to that particular phone number. So let's turn that off right there. Our next area that we're going to, or we'll be talking about soon, is this dynamic extension. We're going to come back to this dynamic extension in just a moment. What we're going to do is we're going to take a shortcut and we're going to come up to the top here and we're going to talk about messages. If I had any messages left within my Mitel phone mailbox, those messages would be available to me in this area here. I do have a call history tab right here that I can look at my missed calls, any of my dialed calls, or any calls that I may have answered, and then of course I have a delete function over on the right hand side right here. Now we're going to come up to this conferences tab in just a moment here. This is a wonderful tool. I think you're going to like this. Your company may have been using and paying for, on a per-use basis, a third-party external conference bridge to host your conference calls. This external conference bridge would have an external telephone number that you've been dialing, as well as your remote attendees have been dialing, and once dialed, everybody would be prompted to enter a conference access number to join and be part of that audio conference. Now, with the Mitel Meet Me conferencing, this is free. And your Transwest technician will provide you with an internal conference bridge extension number and, or if available, an external telephone number that you and your remote attendees will dial to access the conference scheduled by you. Upon dialing the conference bridge number, all attendees, of course, will be asked to dial an access code number to join the conference. So let's come into this area here and we'll discuss it in a little bit greater detail. We came into the Conferences tab, and by default, you can see that extension or access code here is 7100. This will match your extension number. I happen to have an extension sitting on my desk that is extension 7100. So by default, my conference access number will match my extension of 7100, meaning that if one of your technicians, one of your Transwest technicians, has built a conference bridge extension of 7500, all remote attendees, including yourself, will dial 7500 to access the bridge. We'll all be prompted to enter an access number to join the conference. We could simply just dial a default access number of 7100. But maybe you wish to create multiple conferences. Let's come up to this Create a Conference tab, and by default, if you select that Create Conference, it automatically builds one very quickly and it gives it an additional access code. But if you wish to host one and give it a title, maybe it will be a reoccurring conference every week or every month. Let's just go ahead and delete this one real quick, and what we'll do is we will give this one a title of sales, say weekly, right? We'll save it. There it is right there. There's my weekly sales conference. So everybody will dial the internal extension number. Arbitrary could be extension 7500. Then we all would be asked to access or dial this access code to come into it. This conference will remain in effect until you delete it right here. There is a limitation by default. A conference will last 1 hour, and 10 minutes prior to the hour, you as the leader will get a voice prompt asking you to dial a specific digit to extend the conference. But maybe you've already exited the conference and the conference is still continuing with maybe just remote attendees. 10 minutes until the hour, all of your attendees will hear a prompt asking them to dial a specific digit to extend the conference. We also have a limitation. By default, there are 20 ports available. So that means that each conference can host up to 8 parties. So I can have 3 concurrent conferences simultaneously going on. 8, 8, and 4 equals those 20 ports. So maybe at 10 in the morning, all of my salespeople are going to come into the weekly sales meeting and come into a conference, and maybe operations, somebody in operations has scheduled one for the same time period that we have. They can accept up to 8 parties, which leaves 4 ports available to maybe somebody over in one of our other areas of our office to build a conference. So it's 8, 8, and 4. So that's our conference capabilities. We'll go ahead and we'll delete this one, and then we're going to talk about this dynamic extension over here. Great fun little tool. Of course, here's how to turn it on and off right here, but there are 3 areas within your portal here that all tie together or tie this dynamic extension together. The first one here's for to turn it on and off. Very simple. But we have a tab at the top right hand side. It says dynamic extension. We'll open that because it's just a little bit easier to explain if we have a visual here. So we have step numbers 1, 2, and 3. What this is all about is if somebody dials my desk extension 7100, my physical Mitel desk extension will ring for 8 seconds, which is approximately 2 ring cycles. Then at step 2, after those 2 ring cycles have completed, my desk phone will still continue to ring, but my mobile phone will begin to ring at that time period as well. After 12 seconds of ringing both extensions, then that call will flow to my Mitel mailbox, where they may leave a message in my Mitel mailbox, which will light the message key on my Mitel phone. We do have an edit tab at the top right, so we can change some of those timers. Maybe I only want it to ring my desk phone maybe 4 seconds, which is approximately 1 ring cycle. So there is my dynamic extension. Now see, we do have a phone number right here, so we're going to save those timers, and we're going to come up to my account to show you where to input the phone number to route the calls to. So we selected my account and we select edit. Right here is where you will input the phone number, your cell phone number, your home phone number. Now, please take note that when we utilize this call forwarding function right here, we input the digit 8 when we were forwarding to an outside phone number. We input the digit 8. Let's cancel that. I do want to make note that you do not need to input the digit 8 in this area here. You would just type your telephone number as you would normally dial it. So we do have one other thing down here at the very bottom. It's entitled email synchronization. If your company is using the optional unified messaging, and anytime a caller leaves a message within your Mitel voicemail box, you may get a copy of that message in your email inbox in the form of a WAV file. Here's where you're going to edit the email address to receive copies of your voicemail. So that is just a quick brief overview on the Mitel 5000 user web portal. Here's your logout at the top right. Thank you for joining today, and enjoy using your Mitel phone system. Thank you.